Center for Spiritual Living. If you're not in the holiday spirit yet, you will be by the time we get done with you today, because we have Cahill and Delene with us. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Great to have you both with us. Welcome those of you who are online on the internet, or if you're watching later, we welcome you as well. So glad you're with us. Those of you in this very room, wonderful to see you all as well. We have a new opening song.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Are we doing
Jingle Bell Rock?
How cool is that?
It was Sylvia's and Victoria's idea.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you for that.
And all of the little mice that came out and sang for us.
And all the little mice that came out and sang for us.
That would have been something to see. Okay. Well, then.
Are we ready? Okay, you got the lyrics? All right.
2, 3, 4.
Like and are comfortable, please stand up.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing with bushels of fun. Now the jingle bell has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a right time is the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle and jingle and beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Ho, ho. In a bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle and a jingle then beat. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. Woo!
Very cool. Please be seated.
Oh, that's Barry's seat.
You can sit on the third seat there.
Dougie? Did you get your puppy Dougie?
Okay. All right. Let's take a deep breath here. God incarnates, takes form as people, all people. That there is a nature within it called soul, within us, that is eternal and forever expanding. That the kingdom of heaven is within and available for us to experience to the degree that we become aware of it. And that the ultimate goal of life is freedom. Freedom from discord. And that of everyone. And that everyone shall attain this. So God is not some remote principle. Rather, it is the very life we are, personal to all. We like to say that God is within us, which is true. And we are also within God. We are always within this life, love, wisdom, power, peace, beauty, and joy that is the divine beingness. And Ernest reminds us that we experience this to the degree that we become conscious of it. Whatever God is at every point of space and time. All of God is right here, right now. So we are God, being God as ourselves. No separation. As we enter meditation, I invite you to contemplate. I have the power of all creation at the point of me. Creation at the point of me. And as you gently bring your attention back to the sound of my voice and know that I am and God is and I am. And there is nothing outside of it, which is all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present, and available in its entirety at every point simultaneously. And in this consciousness of oneness, this union with all that is, in this awareness, I know for each of us, and that this holy day, this holy moment, this instant where time and eternity intersect, that all is divinely guided, and that Reverend Jerry is a vehicle, a free-flowing vessel for the divine inspiration that comes through him, within him, and that we are inspired by the music and the camaraderie and the technology, and it is all good and only good and all powerful. And I speak these words into the law of mind, knowing it is so. And I say, thank you, Mother, Father, God. And so it is.
So it is.
And let's welcome back Cahill and Delene.
We have a song that we want you to sing with us. It's Silent Night. And it's a new version by Joan Kurland. Those of you who have been with Om for quite some time remember her. She was an extraordinary piano player, and she wrote a lot of alternate lyrics. And this is a beautiful song because this can apply to every day. And it's going to feature Barry on recorder. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Spirit, guide us to do what is right. Keep our focus on goodness and light. Help us all live in peace. voices in the song. Help us all live in peace. Help us to all live in peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, and new beginnings are now being birthed. Love and goodness are coming to earth. We can all live in peace. Yes, we can all live in peace. Isn't that beautiful?
That was beautiful. Thank you both so very much. So good morning once again to those of you in this very room, or good afternoon or good evening if you are with us on the internet or watching later. Great to have you all with us today. I apologize in advance for my somewhat congested condition. I was in Kentucky and Tennessee for Thanksgiving, which I'll talk about later. Left my voice somewhere over Chicago. So it's back, which is a very good thing, but brought a little other stuff with me. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, thank you so much. It's great to be back in civilization where it is not 29 degrees. Dang. There's a reason we live in San Diego, right? Yes. Yep. So great to be with you this morning. So when I was with you a couple of weeks ago, we talked about our theme for 2024, which has been a grand rising. And just as kind of as a review, it has to do with looking for and finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Recognizing that there is something bigger for us than just waking up. So moving from the good God morning to good morning God, I'm back. Because think of our perception of the word grand. This is grand. This is amazing. This is extraordinary. This is brimming over with possibility. So that's what we've been about all year. And believe it or not, in about 23 more days, we'll be done with 2024. I know, right? Yeah, just amazing. Yes. Yep. So my topic for this morning is Hearts Ablaze. And so I'm going to talk about our perception of ablaze and about fire. And fire being cleansing, fire being passionate, and looking at what, no pun intended, lights us up. What makes our tail wag, what makes our heart sing, and what doesn't. And all of those things. So I'm so glad you're with me this morning. So think about fire. Often we think of it, and living in Southern California, especially because if you do or if you've been here for a while, you know that we can experience wildfires and forest fires, which can be very destructive, but also consider fire as passionate and as cleansing. And so during the month of December, we'll be talking about the elements and tying them to our spiritual life and our spiritual practices. So passionate, again, what lights you up either positively or negatively? What makes your heart sing and your tail wag? And by the way, what really honks you off? See, I was trying to come up with a word, a pulpit-worthy word for that statement, and honk was the best I could do. So bear with me on that. But if homelessness lights you up, if homeless pets really light you up, if you feel passionate about a particular situation or the environment or just a variety of things, that's the still small voice saying there's something for you to do in the world because that's your heart on fire for that situation. I don't know about you, but sometimes, because I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot. I know you are. I'm on Facebook a lot, and it's amazing. I love and adore Facebook. I have no financial interest in Meta or Facebook. It's just such a great way to find people you haven't seen in forever. I get a lot of wisdom and a lot of great quotes for Sunday Talks from Facebook, and so there was a point to that, and I wonder. Oh yeah, so I'm on Facebook, and I either liked a post or commented on a post, and my ego says, "Gee, that was nice. Now you're done with that." Not so much. It was just a post on social media, but again, if we feel that in our being, in our heart of hearts, there's something else for us to do. There's some other way for us to be involved in whatever that is that, again, either makes our tail wag positively or negatively. So there's this great quote that I absolutely love from Jill Bolt Taylor. She wrote a book, A Brain Scientist's Personal Journey, and the story really quickly is she had a stroke and wound up being brain dead, I believe, for just a little while, and then came back with some amazing insights. And one of the ones that she got was, most of us think of ourselves as thinking creatures. Sorry. Most of us think of ourselves as thinking creatures that feel, but we are actually feeling creatures that think. I love the concept of that because I'm thinking, I'm feeling, I love that. That excites me. That makes me so excited, and I so want to do that. And then the thinking nature of me comes up with the ideas of how to get involved in that. So we have the feeling first, and then the thoughts on how to do that. Because again, I would suggest if we have the feeling, if we have the fire for whatever that is, that's the still small voice saying, and oh, by the way, there's something for you to do. Because our feeling nature, and in the early days of our teaching, we didn't think so much about our feelings. But remember, Neville Goddard, one of the early New Thought writers, wrote about how important our feelings are because they help create our experience. So we have the thought, we do our affirmative prayer, our spiritual mind treatment, but then we also have to have the feeling of whatever it is we wish to experience. And that's how that is created for us, how it manifests for us. This is so incredibly tacky. Excuse me just one moment.
No worries.
What? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
What a demonstration.
I know, right? So I love the concept of that we feel that passion. We might feel that anger or that frustration. That's the still small voice telling us there is something for us to do. And if we don't feel anything, maybe it's not ours to do. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So what can we do about this? Whatever this is. Wisdom comes to me to all of us in surprising and wonderful ways, and I added a slide this morning from the Serenity Prayer, and you might remember this. God, grant me the serenity to accept that which cannot be changed, courage to change that which can be changed, and the wisdom to know the difference. And how important it is for us to recognize that, yes, acceptance is necessary when there's nothing that can be done, but I would suggest that's a pretty small list of situations, because there is something. There is something. We may not solve the entire problem, but we can very often offer love and compassion and wisdom and possibility to whatever that situation is that makes our hearts sing. It is. So as we allow ourselves to recognize this and to feel this, we can move to a new level of possibility. So I found this next slide on Facebook. I have posted it many times. I absolutely love it, and I bet you will as well. And I would suggest that this is in our relationships with one another, with our families, with our partners, with life. Unless it is mad, passionate, extraordinary love, it is a waste of time. There are too many mediocre things in life. Love should not be one of them. Thank you. And again, no matter what and oh, by the way, it should be inconvenient. And oh, by the way, it should be, because that's the passion, that's the joy, that's the flavor of life, the lusciousness of life. Absolutely love that. Yep. Love should not be ordinary. So when we see a situation, it lights our hearts up. It makes our tail wags and our hearts sing. We want to do something about it. Very often, and it might be in our personal lives, that as we prepared, and I'll talk more about this later, but as we prepare to move into 2025, what are we carrying with us? What are the stories? What are the rules? What are the resentments and regrets that we're going to carry with us into 2025 versus saying, I have schlepped this with me. Love that word. Schlepp this with me for long enough. I'm not carrying it into 2025. And so we got 23. I have 23 days to decide what I'm carrying with me and what I'm not, and lovingly release whatever that is. As we do this, it requires a change. So the opportunity to change what we believe about that situation, about that person, about that piece of our history, and decide what still works for us and what doesn't. So wisdom comes to us in, as I mentioned before, to me and to you as well, I'm sure, in surprising and wonderful ways. As you know, ad nauseum, I work with a program for homeless youth. Our main office is in downtown San Diego, and we have wall hangings in the different offices in the buildings. And one of the wall hangings, and I had nothing to do with it, so I take no credit, but this was there, and I just absolutely love it. This quote from Brene Brown from Daring Greatly. So vulnerability, because when we change, when we step out of our comfort zone, when we say, I don't accept that, I want to change that, it requires our vulnerability. And that means, so the word vulnerability means to show up and be seen, to ask for what you need, to talk about how you're feeling, to have the hard conversations. Can I have the hard conversations? It's not easy. And especially with a family member, especially with a loved ones. No, I don't know about you, but for me, no is not always easy. But that's a change that we have to make. I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best, but that's not mine to do. And then come from love, come from compassion, and then allow them to respond as they respond. But how important it is for us to recognize that making that change. Again, as we decide what's for us to do and begin to work in that direction, we may not be able to solve the entire problem. So, and I'll use my beloved employer again. Urban Street Angels, we have beds for about 150 homeless youth, which is 10% of the population of homeless 18 to 24-year-olds in San Diego. And so the temptation sometimes is to look at a situation and say, I can't solve this problem. It's just too much. But I remember a story or a saying from probably back from high school. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So we may not solve the problem this afternoon, but we can begin to make inroads toward whatever it is to solving that situation, or foster a pet, or go out on an outing to clean up a park, or just whatever it is, again, that really lights you up, because that's how we do this. Again, recognizing that if we have a passion for whatever it is, that's the still small voice saying, yes, this is yours to do. So, fire and Hearts Ablaze, talking about being passionate about a situation, and then also looking at our current situations, deciding what's still ours to do and have, and what's ours to release. Because the element of fire also has to do with cleaning and cleansing. A great little book that I found many years ago. The title is The 4 Elements of Change by Heather Ash. And I have a couple of fairly long quotes for you, but stay with me if you would, please. She writes about the agreements that we made as children, the rules. I don't know about you, but I came in with, this is right, and this is good, and this is what you do. And the church told me, and my family told me. And because I was young and didn't know any better, I said, oh, okay. Remember in the 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz talks about our domestication, that we're taught about what this is and how this works, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and what you should be and what you shouldn't be. And we may carry those rules with us for years or decades or centuries, unless and until we say, no, wait just a minute. That might have been true for me then, but that's not true for me now, and I get to change the rules. And this came to me as I was writing this as well, and it may resonate for you or not, but what do we believe about God? I mentioned this. If you've been with me before, you know that I mention this every once in a while, but what do we believe about God, and what were we taught growing up about God? Is God the loving, nurturing presence that Jesus talked about that always responds to us as we believe? Or is he the hateful, surly, cranky, white, straight old man up on a cloud someplace that will zap us into a pillar of salt at any opportunity? I was doing a workshop some time ago, and I forget where I was, but we were talking about this concept of God, and one of the people in the workshop relayed the story of one of her parents died when she was young, and she was told that, well, God needed them, and so God took them. So how do you have any kind of relationship with your higher power if you believe that God took your beloved parent? And we might carry that with us unless and until we can say, now, wait just a minute. Using perfect English, it ain't necessarily so. We can look at that again and decide what's really true for us and what's not. Tain't so. Thank you. Thank you. So from Heather Ash's book, she talks about these agreements and this foundation and what we've carried with us and the need to change whatever that is so that we can feel that change and that passion moving forward. Because if I have a story that, gee, that would be really nice if you could do that, but children should be seen and not heard. Women should remain silent in the church. Thank you, as it should be. But remember, the Apostle Paul in the New Testament said that? Yeah. So I'll never tell you what you have to do, but we have the opportunity to look and see what still makes sense for us and what doesn't, and change what doesn't. So she writes about this experience of change. Imagine yourself as a house you keep fairly clean for the outside world. By keeping your house clean, you get acceptance and approval from the outside world. Every house has a closet, and in yours you stuff everything you do not like about yourself. All the unconscious agreements, inner voices, and behaviors that have been passed down to you from your family. When you invite people over, you are friendly until they get anywhere near the closet. Don't open that. Most of you won't remember this, and I'm not sure if I remember this, but remember Fibber McGee? Yeah, yes. So there was for those of you who don't remember, and I don't want to hear about it, but there was a radio show, before there was television, there was a radio show, Fibber McGee and Molly, and they had this closet. And so inevitably, sometime during the show, somebody would go and open the closet, and you'd hear this crash because they stuffed all the stuff into the closet, and at some point somebody opened it, and there it was. Oh, that would have been before my time. But nonetheless, all the unconscious agreements, inner voices, and behaviors we stuff in there. Or maybe you're a person who invites people over and immediately drags them to your closet. Look at all of this. Can you believe it? So and included in our closet could be our beliefs about relationships, about money, about life. I mean, is this life pretty amazing, or is it like a beaver colony and one damn thing after another? And that's damn DAM, so it's pulpit worthy, so I can say that. What do we believe about life? Because if we are not sure, we can look and see how our money is, how our relationships are, how our parking places are. It's all those things that show up because, as we know, life is lived from the inside out. So if this isn't working, what do I believe about it, and what can I change about it? Because again, to live this flame-worthy, is that a word? It is now. To live this flame-worthy, passion-worthy, joyful-worthy life, we have to allow ourselves to look at what we believe about whatever it is and change it. So again, 23 days. What are we carrying with us that we don't want to or don't need to anymore? So a couple of thoughts on cleaning out the closet, and I just so don't want to do this afternoon. So I won't do it, but I do have one that could use a little help. So first step, open the door. It is. It can be. There could be, monsters, money, skeletons. Yes, that's certainly true. Could be money. Never know. Probably not, but anything's possible. But being willing to open the door, but keeping in mind that willing is not an action word. Because I can be willing until this time next year, but until I get up and go and open the door, nothing changes. Then start taking stuff out. I'll very quickly tell the story. My parents lived in the house that I grew up in Escondido for about 55 years. And so my father died about 4 years ago. It was about 3 months, and then my mother said, it's time to sell the house and move, because she was in Escondido, I'm in La Mesa, she needs to be closer to me. So we're going through the process, and if you've ever done this with dear ones, and I can see your eyes rolling, so some of you have had this experience, going through cleaning out the stuff that we didn't know was there. So we're in the hall closet, in the back of the hall, in the back of the closet, bringing stuff out to my mother, and she says, well, what's that? Well, what's that? I don't know. Well, what's that? And then I'm in the back of the closet, and there's this wooden box. Never seen it before, because there were blankets piled on top of it. So, okay, so bring it. Didn't open it, because I want the surprise to be for everybody, so bring it out. My father served in Korea in 1955 to 57, or thereabouts, and brought home a set of sterling flatware. So this box, and they were not China and sterling silver people. It just was not pertinent for them. But this box of sterling flatware was in the closet for the 50 years that they lived there, plus however long. And my mother's like, well, what's that? Wow. So I will admit to you that it is now in my closet, because I don't really do China and sterling and all the rest of that. But it's easy to get to, and at some point, I'm just not ready to let it go, and that's okay. But the point is, as we open, we see, and it could be your physical closet, but it also could be the closet in your heart. What do I still want to keep? What still works for me, and what does not? And what am I ready to release? Because we can't move forward. We can't live this joyful, passionate, exciting life if we're dragging this stuff that no longer works for us along with us. And then one more quote from Heather. When you choose to clean out what no longer serves you, you must be willing to open the door on some not so pleasant thoughts, emotions, and body sensations. You need to be curious about what's inside the closet and be willing to sift through the garbage or clutter, my word, not hers, to find the truth. You learn to be willing to feel out of control, to be unclear about what is yours and what is not, and to be confused, all without judging yourself. Because I don't know about you, but I try to be put together. I want to project that image, and it really is okay for us to be not. It's okay for us to not be charming and sparkling all the time. I am, but for the rest of you, just making sure you're paying attention. It's important for us to recognize those feelings and those experiences, because what we can't be with won't let us be. So we'll allow ourselves to feel that so we can heal it and move forward. Slight detour there. Pulling everything out of your closet allows choice. Your clear mind keeps you from judging what you find. When your thoughts are laid out in front of you, you can begin to sort through what belongs to you and what does not. You'll find old clothes that do not fit you anymore and old beliefs that do not serve you. You'll find things given to you that you never really liked but did not know how to refuse. And I would suggest it's that outfit that there's no way in this life you would ever wear, or that thing that they wanted you to put on your dining room table and there's no way, or that belief that we've put in our closet and allowed ourselves to keep for, again, years or decades or centuries, unless and until we say, no, I'm not doing that. So what does all this have to do with fire? And I would suggest that we can't live the passionate, excited, exciting, love-filled lives that we're here to live if our closets and our hearts and our lives are full of this old stuff. Again, using a pulpit-worthy word. So we clean it out. We burn it off, if you will. And as soon as we do, there is new growth. Have you ever been? I mean, the fires that we have up in Julia and you know, in the mountains to the east are just absolutely heartbreaking. But for some reason, we went up a couple of days after one of them, and this is not my picture, I found it on the internet, but I was amazed because, of course, it burns all the brush out or all the trees out, but the water hits the seeds under the surface, and there is and then the sun comes down and there's immediately new growth. So as soon as we release that resentment, as soon as we release that regret, as soon as we release that, whatever that belief was, there's the opportunity for newness and new possibility. Like the phoenix rising up from the ashes. Remember him? So this is a bird with fiery feathers that can live up to 100 years. Near the end of its life, the phoenix would set itself on fire in its nest of twigs and then rise from the ashes as a new phoenix, emerging from a difficult situation stronger, wiser, and more powerful. And that's what we're about, is allowing those old beliefs, those old ideas, those old, well, I'm not enough to do that. I can't possibly do that. If you have the idea, if you have the passion, if you have the tail wag, there must be a way for you to be involved in allowing that to happen. Because we get to decide what we're carrying with us. And again, sometimes it's for a really long time until, this is in the top 5 of my favorite quotes, and the day came, and I bet you've had this experience too, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Whether it's a relationship that no longer serves you, a job that no longer serves you, a belief that no longer serves you, whatever it is, we stay fearful and tight until the still small voice gets a word in edgewise and says, you deserve better than this. You deserve more than this. You are here for more than this. So that's what we're about. But we get to decide. So I would love it if you would, and I get to fill in the blank. And we say, thank you so much. I so appreciate that, because there's everybody out there has ideas for what we should be doing, but it's for us to decide. And I will close with this, which is my other favorite quote. And every day the world will drag you by the hand, yelling, this is important, and this is important, and this is important. You need to worry about this, and this, and this. And each day, it's up to you to yank your hand back, put it on your heart, and say, no, this is what's important. We get to decide. It's our hearts that are ablaze. It's our hearts that we get to decide what's important and what's not. So with that in mind, join me in the light for just a minute. So in great gratitude, we allow ourselves to stay in this consciousness of oneness. We give thanks for this glorious day, this 70-degree day in the middle of December in San Diego. We say yes, thank you, and more, please. We give thanks for this beloved spiritual community that we call home, for the opportunity to be together. And moving forward this afternoon and this weekend, this month, and for the rest of our lives, we allow ourselves to feel what we feel, to recognize what really makes our hearts sing, and act on those intuitive ideas that come to us, recognizing that we really are feeling creatures who think rather than the other way around. We give thanks for this day, for possibility, for our time together, and together we say, and so it is.
And so
now
it
we
is.
have Cahill and Delene.
Thank you, Reverend Jerry. That was wonderfully inspirational and fun. So we have Get Out Your Lyrics.
That image of the phoenix that you put up was amazing art.
Yeah.
I've seen
I'd love
lots
to
of
get
images
that.
of the mythical bird, the phoenix. That's the best one I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Okay, so get out your lyrics for the New Thought 12 Days of Christmas. You have it
Yes.
ready? Because you'll need it. All right, everybody have them?
And again, a nod to Joan Curlin for this beautiful rewrite here.
Yes, it is so wonderful. I mean, you know, 11 Lords a Leaping is fine, but what can we do with that? Well, actually, All right, so here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun, so sing along.
1, 2, 3.
On the first day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, you need to forgive and release. On the second day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the third day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, cast down fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the fourth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, pray every day, cast down fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the fifth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the sixth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, look on the bright side, God's everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the seventh day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God is everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the eighth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God is everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the ninth day of Christmas, my spirit said to me, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side, God is everywhere. every day. Cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the 10th day of Christmas, my Spirit said to me, try meditation, strive to be patient, know your abundance, always be thankful, look on the bright side. God is everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. On the 11th day of Christmas, my Spirit said to me, help those who need it, try meditation, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side. God is everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release. Are you ready? On the 12th day of Christmas, my Spirit said to me, do affirmations, help those who need it, try meditation, strive to be patient, know you're abundant, always be thankful, look on the bright side. God is everywhere. Pray every day, cast out fear, love everyone, and you need to forgive and release.
I love that.
I know, Joan
I
Kurland.
love that. Thank you so much. That was awesome. All right, it is time for us to prepare for our tithes and offerings. You have an envelope with an index card. If you have a prayer request this morning or something came up for you during the talk, if you'd like to write that on the card, we'll give you just a minute to do that. And then I will ask our ushers to come forward for the baskets. Yes.
Also collect the song books. We'll collect them at the office. The song cards can be passed.
Okay. And we'll gratefully accept the song cards back from you. Thank you. Okay. Pass to the center island. Yes.
Take a picture of them afterwards, you know.
Okay. Just another minute or so. So as we prepare to collect our offerings, tithes and offerings and donations from this very room, just a reminder that you can give on the website, you can give through PayPal, through Venmo, through a variety of ways, also by giving on Sunday morning or by mailing a check. And we thank you so much for that. So let me pray us into this experience as we lovingly release these tithes and offerings. We say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this abundance it's ours to share, recognizing that as we give, we do receive, and we give great thanks. Together we say, and so it is. All set? Okay. Thank you. So just a couple of things really quickly. I was in Lexington, Kentucky on Tuesday, where it was 28 degrees, and had the opportunity to have lunch with Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell Smith, who is the spiritual leader for all of Centers for Spiritual Living. So it was an amazing experience to get to spend some time with the Grand Poobah, as it were. And she sends her love and greetings. So just such a great lady. Really was a wonderful experience. Then under announcements, really quickly, as you may recall, Thursday, December 19th, we are providing the side dishes for lunch for the Angels at Urban Street Angels, which is the organization that provides housing for 18 to 24-year-olds right next door. So if you're available, we'll meet here about 11 o'clock. Invite you to bring mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, pumpkin pie, whatever makes your tail wag. So we're providing the side dishes, and then Urban Street Angels will provide the meat, so the turkey or ham or whatever. So if you're available, there is a sign-up sheet in the back of the room, and I would love it if you would join me, and we'll meet here about 11 o'clock on that Thursday morning. And the elf may or may not show up. We'll have to see what happens. Cahill and Delene, such a great joy, as always. Thank you all so very much. Appreciate your being here. Let's give them a little more love. Okay. Jody has an announcement.
I just want to let everybody know that the Power of Your Word, a CSL certificated class, will start on January 8th, a Wednesday. It's going to be in the evenings from 6 to 8 for 8 weeks. The flyer's in the back. If anybody's interested, go ahead and take one of the flyers. Talk to me if you have any questions. That's it.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks, Trey.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm David Zwicker. This is Kelly and Marcy. We're partners, and in More Than Love, in creating transformation and healing in this community and in the greater world. As some of you might know, we've been designing and leading programs here. We did Empower Thyself was our first program here. The second one is about to complete the Healing the Inner Child program. Actually, this Tuesday night will be the last program for that series, and we're going to be creating a new series here starting in January called The Power of Emotions, where we're going to actually explore the meaning and purpose and function of our emotions, including fear and anger and joy. And we're going to be basing the program on Carla McLaren's book, The Language of Emotions. We'll be reading that book and really going in depth to understand all 22 of our different emotions. Abraham Hicks describes 22 different emotions on the emotional guidance scale that all the way goes from hate, fear, all the way up to love, joy, and appreciation. One of the things we're going to be facilitating in this is the opportunity to learn how to navigate from down here to up here and be able to clear out and get out of those more uncomfortable, some people call them negative emotions, they're just emotions, to navigate up by giving those emotions voice, getting in touch with them, feeling through them, releasing them, and moving up the ladder of our emotions in our lives to feel more control over them, more influence over them. Did you want to say anything more?
That's good.
Good question. I would say we haven't...
14 weeks, probably.
At least 14 weeks. And we
We're
haven't...
actually still looking at the cost.
The cost,
We will get
yeah.
that. And we're starting it at the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll have more information about that soon.
You have give us more
We're gonna get a
information and a
flyer.
sign-up sheet and a flyer and all that.
totally.
Okay.
We're working on that now.
Okay.
it is
It's going to be on Tuesday nights.
6:30.
Just quickly, by a show of hands, how many of you might be interested in the class? It will be drop-in, so you don't have to necessarily commit to the entire series. If you're interested in just coming to explore emotion, for example, and how to set healthy boundaries in your life, deal with emotion within yourself and from other people, how to manage that, you can come just for a class.
Okay. Great.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
time.
Okay, great to see you all this morning. Stand if you would. We will say our closing affirmation and then sing our peace song. I am an expression of God, born into the richness and abundance of the indwelling presence. Today I walk upon my world, consciously creating oneness within and around me.
And
so it
is.
is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as a power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Merry Christmas, everyone.